If you thought the drama at the Korhan mansion couldn't get any hotter, you were wrong. Strap in, because this month is a roller coaster of broken engagements, shocking family secrets, and a wedding that absolutely nobody will forget. Remember to help by joining the channel membership or sending a super thanks donation. Every bit helps keep these stories coming. And hey, let those ads play for a bit, it really makes a difference. Now, let's dive into the chaos. Monday, the 2nd of February, was the day Ferret finally broke. With a heavy heart, he told Seyran it was truly over, choosing the path of duty by formally becoming engaged to DR. Seyran was shattered, but her pain was just a prelude. Across town, Abedin, armed with a fury born of recently discovered truths about his lineage, stormed the Korhan mansion. He wasn't there for tea, he was there to settle every old score, terrorizing Gulgun and Hatuk as he ransacked the place, declaring it was just the beginning of his revenge for the wrongs done to his family. On Tuesday the 3rd, the dust from Abedin's raid settled to reveal the shocking truth. Halis was forced to confess to a stunned Ferret and Orhan that Abedin was actually the son of Halis's late brother, making him Ferret's cousin and a legitimate heir to the Korhan fortune. Ferret, reeling from this, failed to stop Abedin's rampage. Meanwhile, Seyran, in the quiet of her own heartbreak, realized her marriage to Sinan was a hollow shell. She couldn't continue the charade, especially as more of the Kantati family's manipulative secrets bubbled to the surface, poisoning any chance of peace. Come Wednesday the 4th, Ferret and DR dove into wedding prep, a picture of tense perfection. Seyran, resolved to end her own misery, invited Sinan for one final civil dinner to discuss divorce papers. In a parallel drama, Orhan, fed up with Nurten's scheming that nearly exposed his secret child, finally called the police on her. But the shadow over the day was Abedin, who coldly prepared his next move, a grand interruption of Ferret's upcoming wedding, determined to humiliate the Korhans in front of all of Istanbul. Thursday the 5th was meant to be Ferret's wedding day. Instead, it became a nightmare. Sinan, unhinged by Seyran's rejection, poisoned both her and himself at their last dinner. A frantic call sent Ferret abandoning his bride at the altar, racing to the hospital where Seyran fought for her life. There, Abedin made his explosive entrance, revealing Sinan's plot to the gathered families. A violent showdown erupted in the hospital corridors between Ferret, Abedin, and Sinan's furious family, leaving the wedding in ruins and DR utterly humiliated. On Friday the 6th, the legal battles began. Both DR and a recovering Seyran pressed charges against Sinan for attempted murder. While the police hunted for the vanished Sinan, the danger wasn't over. Back at Seyran's home, the threat returned in the dead of night. Sinan broke into her room, a terrifying reminder that he was still out there, obsessed and far from finished. The incident proved nowhere was safe, sending a new wave of fear through everyone who cared for her. Before we get to next week's madness, don't forget to show some love. A subscribe and a like cost you nothing but mean the world to this channel. If you're enjoying these wild recaps, consider sharing them with a friend who needs some drama in their life. Now, back to the story. Monday the 9th saw Ferret take charge after Sinan's break-in. Fearing for Seyran's life, he moved her into the Korhan mansion for protection, a decision that stirred old feelings and new tensions. Elsewhere, Betrayal, Orhan's pregnant girlfriend, discovered he had betrayed her by trying to hide their child from the family. Plotting her revenge with a cold fury, she decided Orhan would pay dearly for his cowardice and deception, setting her sights on the Korhan wealth and reputation. Tuesday the 10th brought a whirlwind of announcements. In a public display, Kazim dramatically proposed to remarry Esme, dropping the bombshell news about her pregnancy to their stunned children. The drama shifted as Halis finally returned to the mansion. The celebration was cut short when Diyar's grandfather, Ilyas, discovered Seyran was living there. Furious, he outright refused to let Diyar marry Ferit, putting the already cancelled wedding under a new, permanent-seeming blockade unless Seyran left immediately. On Wednesday the 11th, Halis gathered Orhan, Ferit and Ifakat to reveal the full, painful truth about Abedin's father, forcing them to see their cousin as a victim of family history. Meanwhile, Seyran, in a selfless move, went to convince Ilyas to allow Diyar's marriage, trying to remove herself as an obstacle to Ferit's future. Not one to wait, Ferit personally confronted Sinan's family, the Kantasis, warning them to control their son, but their evasive responses only heightened his suspicions about their involvement. Thursday the 12th saw the old spark between Ferit and Seyran reignite within the mansion's walls. Their growing closeness created a palpable tension that Diyar could sense from miles away. In a bid for stability, Orhan proposed to Betul properly, but she shrewdly rejected his request for a prenuptial contract protecting her future interests. The day's unease peaked when a mysterious gift arrived from Sinan, a chilling reminder that his threat lingered, putting everyone on high alert. Friday the 13th lived up to its unlucky reputation. Abedin confronted Halis about the past, a heated argument that ended with Halis slapping his nephew across the face. Suna, defending her husband, gave Hatuk an ultimatum: cede ownership of the mansion to Abedin or face the consequences. Amidst the familial war, Ferit and Seyran finally confessed their lingering, undeniable feelings for each other in a stolen, passionate moment, choosing each other despite the world collapsing around them. The plot is thickening like my Uma's gravy. If you're hooked, imagine getting early access to these recaps. That's what our channel members get, plus a whole lot more. Check the join button below. Also, a huge thanks if you're letting the ads run. You're a legend. Monday the 16th confirmed Ilyas's hardline. Ferit and Diyar's wedding was blocked indefinitely until Seyran left the mansion. With this ultimatum hanging in the air, secret alliances began to form and old threats simmered. Betul whispered her plans to new allies, while Abedin's presence promised more explosive confrontations. The entire mansion felt like a powder keg, with Seyran's departure being the lit fuse nobody knew how to snuff out. On Tuesday the 17th, the inevitable happened. Diyar, growing suspicious, caught Ferit and Seyran in a compromising, intimate moment. The betrayal was absolute. As Diyar's world shattered, Esme made plans to leave the mansion with Seyran to escape the toxic drama. This move triggered Abedin, who saw it as a weakness and threatened the Korhans with even greater retaliation if his wife Suna was taken from him, escalating the conflict to a dangerous new level. Wednesday the 18th was a day of brutal exposures. Betul executed her revenge by exposing Orhan's secrets and betrayal directly to Halis. Seizing the chaos, Abedin launched another raid on the mansion. In a stunning move to end the war, Seyran publicly agreed to give up her claim to the mansion ownership to Abedin, but with a secret twist in the fine print that she hoped would protect the Korhans in the long run, playing a dangerous game of her own. Thursday the 19th saw Ferit make a desperate stand. Learning that Esme and Seyran were leaving, he physically stopped Seyran at the door, sparking a vicious fight with a heartbroken Diyar who witnessed it all. Amidst the screaming, Abedin made his power play official and began moving his belongings into the mansion, a symbolic conquest that left Halis fuming and the family home feeling like occupied territory. By Friday the 20th, Diyar and her mother Binaz were deep in plot, devising a way to secure Diyar's place and punish Ferit. In a pivotal moment, Halis revealed the final truth to Abedin about the identity of his father, hoping the full story would quell his rage. Meanwhile, after seeing the damage he caused, Ferit made a firm decision. He had to finally end his relationship with Diyar for good, choosing his own heart over familial obligation. Just when you think it can't get crazier, it does. Your support is what keeps this channel going. A super thanks donation is an amazing way to stay sharp for the content. And don't forget to comment who you're backing in all this mess. Monday the 23rd brought a potential ceasefire. Hatuk took Abedin aside and told him everything she learned from Halis about his father's tragic fate. Hearing the full story from a sympathetic source finally prompted Abedin to soften, leading him to give up on his violent plans for revenge. However, Ferit failed to successfully break up with Diyar, who, in a bold counter-move, decided to pack her bags and move into the mansion herself, determined to fight for her engagement. On Tuesday the 24th, a secret came out that brought Ferit and Seyran closer. He discovered she had known about his past struggles all along, leading to a heartfelt, undeniable kiss. Their moment was shattered by gunshots. Diyar was shot outside the mansion, with all evidence pointing to Sinan. Rushed to the hospital, she was later moved into the mansion to recover. With a common enemy, Abedin and Ferit formed an unlikely alliance, making a plan to finally track down and capture Sinan. Wednesday the 25th found Ferit painfully stuck. With both Seyran and the recovering Diyar under the same roof, the tension was unbearable. Seyran, tired of the limbo, gave Ferit a clear ultimatum: choose once and for all. Adding to the mystery, she began to privately question the obvious story, wondering aloud if it was truly Sinan who shot Diyar, or if someone else had taken advantage of the situation to frame him. Thursday the 26th was a day for hard truths. Betul, advancing her own game, formally asked Orhan for a paternity test for their unborn child, casting doubt on his last shred of credibility. To flush out Sinan, Ferit took drastic action, kidnapping his mother Ayla. The plan worked to force contact, but it was Seyran who interrogated the terrified Ayla, pressing her on the truth about the shooting, searching for cracks in the story. The week ended on Friday the 27th, with major shifts. The cunning Ifakat set an elaborate trap that finally led to Sinan's arrest, giving everyone a brief sigh of relief. However, Betul, alongside her ally Tayfun, successfully deceived Orhan, furthering her plan to secure the Korhan wealth. The final blow came from Diyar. Seeing Ferit's heart was elsewhere, she gathered her strength and dignity, and she was the one to finally break up with him, walking away on her own terms. And there you have it, folks, a month that changed everything, from shootouts to breakups. The Korhan mansion never sleeps. If you loved this drama recap, make sure you're subscribed and that notification bell is on, so you don't miss the next explosive episode. Drop a comment below telling us who you think shot DR. Remember, supporting the channel through membership, super thanks donation, or just by watching those ads, helps us bring you more of this juicy content. Thanks for watching, and until next time, stay safe.